Today we're going to talk about choices. Since our theme is it's our time in '09, we have to know to make the right choices. If I had to give a title, the title of this message would be Losing It All Over Something Small. I use that title because I'm not going to talk about the good choices people make. I'm going to talk about the negative choices that people make. That's why it's losing it all over something small. A choice consists of the mental process of thinking involved with the process of judging the merits of multiple options and selecting one of them for action. Deuteronomy 30, verses 19 and 20 says, I call heaven and earth as witnesses today against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your descendants may live, that you may love the Lord your God, that you may obey his voice, and that you may cling to him. For he is your life and the length of your days. Losing it all over something small. Everybody has choices in life. You have a choice to do whatever you want to do. You have a choice. Once again, you can do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it, but there comes consequences. So be mindful of every choice that you make.
Amen.
Judge yourself before you make the choice. Life and death is set in front of you. Which one will you choose? So it's 4 points that I'm going to talk to you about on this day, and when I get an opportunity, I'm going to go to the next 4 points.
Amen.
The first point I want to talk to you about is religion. When God sets things in front of you, he will set life and death. That's opposite. So he will set religion and spirituality.
Come on.
So I'm going to talk about the religion aspect of it because that is something that you will lose. You will lose life if you become religious. Religious is locking God in the box. Religious is allowing yourself or God to stay stuck in a certain place. When God is everywhere, there's no way in the world that you can say he's right here and only here when he's all over the place. Religion. If you turn to Mark 5, well, no, you don't have to turn. In Mark 5, that talks about a man that was possessed with demons. And once Jesus cast the demons out of the man, he cast them out into a herd of pigs. So when we turn to Acts 10 and 10, Peter is up on the rooftop and he's having a dream, and he sees in his dream, he says he was hungry, and in his dream he sees animals. The Lord told him to kill the animals and eat it. Peter told God, no, I never ate this before. Because he thought about back in Mark when he cast the demon in the pig. He told Jesus, no, I'm not going to eat that. I never ate that before. So Jesus said, no, you can eat it. It's okay. But he was rebellious and he was like, oh no, you told us not to eat it back then, so I'm not going to eat it now. He locked God in a box.
Teach.
He decided, because you said that way back then, that I'm not going to do it right here. And that is the biggest problem that we have now today. The biggest hindrance that we have with what God is saying right now today is what God said yesterday or a couple of hours ago. Okay, Abraham, go and sacrifice your son. So he went to sacrifice his son. And then a few minutes later, God said, the angel came and said, no, don't kill him. It's already a ram in the bush. But what if he would have killed his son anyway? God said, don't do it. What if he was stuck in religion to say, God, that must not be you talking, because you just told me to sacrifice my son.
Come on, teacher.
So do you kill your son, or do you listen to the next voice that God is speaking? God will say one thing in 1 minute, and then in a flash, he will say something different. God is the same. He's going to always be the same, but he has the right to change his mind. Amen? Losing it all over something small. If you stay stuck in religion, you will lose it all over something small, because God is spiritual and he flows all throughout the world. And so we have to realize that he's not just in a box. He's not just in a four-wall building. He's everywhere. So we have to begin to search out. Do not be a hindrance to do not hold on to what God has said, to what God is saying now. Be mindful. Open up your hearts, open up your ears, open up your spirit, and allow God to speak. Don't keep him in a box. The next point I want to talk about is fear. The acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. Say if a police was riding behind you, just on your tail, he doesn't have his lights on, you begin to get nervous. You put your seatbelt on, you get off the phone, you begin to drive like an old Grandma Betty, just driving very slow. You bring attention to yourself, because what you're thinking is not really there. What you're thinking is really a lie, and that's all fear is. False evidence appearing real. It's not real, it's a lie. And that is what is wrong with us on today. We are so fearful of nothing. We have nothing to be afraid of. But because we are in our own mindset, fearful, in our own mindsets, we put lies within us. We can lose it all. Numbers 13. They sent 12 spies out. 10 came back with a bad report. 2 came back with a good one. The 10 that came back with a bad report was fearful. God said you can have the land. He didn't say you had to fight anybody. He said you can have the land. But because they saw, as they say, men as giants, they became fearful and they lost everything. Losing it all over something small. When you allow lies to sink in because of fear, you will lose everything. Matthew 25 talks about the 3 men with the talents. One man just buried his. He didn't do anything with it. And when the master came back, he told the master, I was fearful. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just buried it. And what did the master do? The master took the talent and gave it to someone else. He lost it all over something small. What's small? Your limited thinking.